Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and my sweetie is driving out of the driveway to go pick up our grandson, and there I am down there at the bus stop. And I've done this before, but generally his dad takes him to the bus stop and picks him up, but he's out of town. I'll reference my last video where they were chaining the restored cars to the trailer, and they took off the other day, and they went to Missouri to deliver the cars. They belonged to a guy who had lived here in Arizona, and my son was restoring one of them and fixed up the other one. And so they went and they delivered that, and so there was nobody to pick up my grandson or drop him off, so Grandma's doing that. And, of course, they'll be coming back. In fact, they're on their way as I record this audio. They picked up 2 more cars to restore. They went to Oklahoma to get one, and I don't know exactly where it was they got the other. But anyway, they got a Chevy, late 68 Chevy Impala, and then they got a Ford Futura, which is a special order car. That was back in the 70s, I think. Anyway, there'll be more information. You'll see them on the parking lot there. So, that's why, and of course I had to, you'll notice I might be out of practice of flying because I'm working on my website, but, it's a very jerky flight, and I had to walk across the parking lot and, get myself positioned so I could aim at the drone, which is over, south of where I took off. So anyway, and I think I'm just out of practice because I haven't been flying much lately. My website, MrKent.com, MrKent.com, if you haven't visited it. It's been up for 24 years, and the code that I wrote for it 24 years ago and up until about, a little less than 10 years ago, I stopped programming because kind of ran out of things to add to my site. So you might want to go visit it. But anyway, some of the apps that I have on my site are used by a lot of people. And so when we moved it to the other server, many of my apps, they still work fine, and everything is fine. But then the ones which use PHP and MySQL, the ones that have to access a database, they died. So I've actually been able to get one of them up and running again. I'm so out of practice I can't remember a lot, and then I have to learn a lot. But anyway, I got one of them. It's a 10-key. I got a 10-key tutor and a 10-key test. And if you don't know what a 10-key, that's the keypad at the right-hand end of your keyboard. And for entering data, people that enter data without having to look at the keyboard, they use that a lot. In fact, the Postal Service uses that to train their employees in whatever area it is that they have to enter a whole bunch of numeric data. So they used it and everything, and I got several emails that it wasn't working, of course. So it's working again now, and Grandma's where that part is anyway. I'm still working on other things that people use a lot. So there now, Grandma's parked, and one of the most boring things to do is to keep your drone sitting in one spot, and then I'm far enough away I have to keep watching my connection, so I go up and down, and I waited there and waited, and finally at the very top of the screen, if you can see it, there's a yellow school bus coming, and that's while we were sitting there looking at it, or while I was flying looking at it, and my wife Grandma was sitting down there, my sweetheart. Anyway, so she could see it turn the corner, and I could see it down there on the drone. So that looked pretty good. It's like we just got here in time to not miss the bus. Because I've flown my drone over here before, trying to get videos of him dropping off and picking up. And it's like I had to wait way too long, and the battery died. And so we're zooming in because he's going to stop up here, and I think it's a little girl. This is a zoom. This is an edited zoom. Anyway, pretty soon you'll see the doors will open, and the little girl come climbing out of there, and she lives across the street from where the bus is parked. So and there they come out. Now, if you can't see it because you're looking at it on your phone or something, anyway, so she got out and walked across the street, and then the bus is coming on down to Grandma. So anyway, so the story on my website is I have several databases that I have to access on many of my pages. So I'm still working on that, and it'll take me a while. In the meantime, I'll make a video every once in a while. And of course, the one that the Postal Service was using, that was kind of a must. And then I have also an online punch clock or time clock, whatever you want to call it. And that's down. So a lot of people that use it, they were a little disappointed. But it'll be a while before I get that one fixed up. So here comes the bus. And it's not the right bus. So the bus went on by, and so we still have to wait. And like I said, I waited here. I waited for 10 to 15 minutes for the bus to come. And finally, DJI Dorothy told me, you better get home because battery's getting low. And then the one that comes up at 20%, it told me I better get home. And that's when Dorothy, she spoke about it. And then finally, this is about when I had less than 5 minutes left. And I don't remember what the percentage was, but my battery was getting down there. And by the time I was ready to land, the notice was coming up telling me that my battery was extremely low, and all that beeping sound was going on and everything. So that's the story of going to the bus stop to watch my grandson get off the bus at the end of the day. But as it turned out, the buses were all messed up that day, their system, and he came about 20 minutes after I landed. They dropped them off there, and Grandma brought them home. So anyway, as I head home, I want to thank you, as always, for watching my videos, and God bless.